Welcome back to Panda Pen Club. Today's video is a little unusual. I'm not really reviewing this pen in my hand because it was a gift from my mother. Some of you may have noticed that I've been away for a while. I haven't felt like making videos because I got some unexpected and distressing news about my mother's health, and it's taken me a little while to deal with it. If I had anything like the strength and the zeal with which she's now inspiring me every single day, there would not have been any break at all. Mum and I have always written each other letters and postcards, whether I've lived far away or closer by. And she's a lot better at it than I am, I think. For all the letters that catch you off guard with a sort of explosion of glitter, there's all the letters or parcels that include a wonderful old photograph or a much needed slice of cake. She's been putting the name of the pen she's using at the end of her postcards recently, and I like that very much. Not so long ago, one of the letters from Mum included this pen. It's called the Morley. It's turned from recycled oak whiskey barrel staves, which are sourced in Speyside, Scotland, where I now live, by a guy called Martin in Yorkshire, where Mum lives. Since I got it, I've been using it a lot for letters and to reflect at the end of the day. It's really substantial in the hand, and it writes with a smooth, consistent line with just the right ink flow. I saw Mum for her wedding last week, and she gave me a stack of old correspondence that she'd kept with people, relatives, some of whom I barely remember from a sort of patchwork of childhood memories, and some of whom I still know today. A letter written thriftily on the back of a brochure commemorating a trip to Windsor Castle, or on a wispy thin parchment headed York Hotel, Singapore. Typewritten greetings from a health centre in West Cameroon. My granddad's brilliant thoughts on my schooling and reading choices and stamp collection. Perhaps it's a lot easier to coordinate on flight times than it was back then, but what a lopsided sacrifice we seem to have made. We've gone from addenda about literature and healthcare and miracles to sterile but scalable. Some of the letters I found in the pile of papers Mum gave me were addressed to her, but clearly written on my behalf. Others were addressed to me, but clearly written with her help. My correspondence skills were a little too chaotic for the human eye at this juncture. There are three I'm going to highlight. The first letter is from the Sooty, Sweep and Sue fan club. And for those of you who are unfamiliar, these are three glove puppet characters. Sooty is a bear, Sue is a panda, and Sweep is a dog. And they were created and performed on television by magician and puppeteer Matthew Corbett. I loved this show. It was right up there with Postman Pat. I was particularly an enormous fan of Sue, who inspired a brief but significant interest in drag between the ages of 4 and 5 while I was living with my parents on a British military base. Two things I like about this letter. One, in the first paragraph, I think it's clear from the apologetic explanations about a mailing mix-up that Mum must have told them off in no uncertain terms about whatever essential items were missing from our order from the Sooty, Sweep and Sue fan club. And it's good to know someone was fiercely litigating all the really important stuff on my behalf back then. Second, second thing I like about this letter. Whatever she said clearly also managed to charm them and got the attention of Sue herself. The next letter is from Thames Television, and it's about the televised version of a book I loved, Stig of the Dump by Clive King. The novel documents the friendship of the present-day boy, Barney, and a caveman called Stig, whom he encounters when he falls into an old chalk pit. I remember being entranced by the show, and again, clearly Mum was there to advocate on my behalf, asking to get a video of the show so I could watch it again. I hope I didn't nag her too much about that. The final letter demonstrates immense progress because it's addressed to me. And it's from the Beano, which is the longest running British children's comic. I'm walking to the shop to spend my pocket money on the Beano and a sherbet fountain. That is a particularly nice and cosy memory. Roger the Dodger and Calamity James were my favourites, in case anyone in the know is wondering about that. It's just fabulous to have these. I get to peel back my own history and witness care and love that I can't remember, or illuminate other people who played a part in my life, who I could only remember for in these hollowed out flashes. It's wonderful to pore over this stuff and understand things a bit better. And one of the things I love about this pen is that because of the finish, it will accrue stains and ink splots, of which I generate so many over the course of my life. It's sold on a site called Aura Q, although I think Mum bought it on a market. But it led me to another fantastically well-organised website called handturnedpens.co.uk. And here you can buy pens turned from old shotguns, and you can decide whether you prefer a pen made from a Jack Daniels barrel or Glenfiddich, or if this is where your most urgent enthusiasms happen today, you can browse the East Yorkshire Bog Oak collection in your ultra-targeted hunt for the perfect pen. Why? Well, some objects carry a seemingly mystical resonance. A used object, an old object, or like this, even more fascinating, an object that was originally used for an entirely different purpose. What hands has it passed through? What has it witnessed? How was it treated? By virtue of being gifted to you by someone you love, an object is also going to carry meaning hidden from the outside world. But what's left of this charge if the object passes into different hands that don't know the story? Not much. But then pens are special, of course, because they are one of the few inanimate objects that can play a part in the finding and the telling of the story of their owners. The writing sample for the Morley fountain pen. Dear Mum. Has one of these metal grips which is quite shiny, and ordinarily I would think, oh, it's going to be slippery, but because of the curvature, the subtle curvature I suppose, but definitely something you can feel in your fingertips, because of this curvature on the section, it's quite easy to grip a hold of. The balance is really nice as well. In terms of posting, it would be an extraordinary and very eccentric thing to do, to post this pen, because although it's technically possible, many things are technically possible, but it doesn't necessarily mean you should leap in and indulge in them yourself. So unposted is the best way to write with this pen. The balance is really nice. It's sturdy as as a rhinoceros. Because it's a gift from my darling mother, it will not be subjected to our usual Panda Pen Club chuckability rating, but I will give you a little size comparison. There is a Sailor King of Pens, and here is a Pilot Coeco. Let me line them up properly. It'll probably give you an even better sense of the size of this. Let's do a writing sample. Lucky. Panda. I suspect it should be lovely. It's been so long since I've made a video that I forgot how the Panda Pen Club pangram goes, which is terrible. Lovely panda. Seeks. Jinxed. Zebra. 4. Quick. Speedy, rapido. Game of whist. I'd say there's a degree of sweet spot maneuvering necessary with this pen, which is why it's lucky there's a decent grip on it. You do occasionally, or I at least occasionally skip if I'm not paying a little more attention to my grip than I was on that J there. The ink flow, however, is really nice, as you can see here. Plentiful. And there I did the little skipping thing again. Skipping through the meadows. There, plenty of ink. It's just for me, it's a really comfortable pen to write with, despite its great weight, its sturdiness. I mean, I'm not like a bodybuilder, but I feel I can use this pen for a long time, and it's not a light pen. It might be something also, well, not just the grip that's very pleasant, but the tactile qualities of the wood itself, and it's sort of a little like a school desk or something like that. Really lovely. Thank you so much for all the gifts you've given me, Mum. You're an inspiration, and I love you, and I look forward to many, many more letters.